Some people treat the law like a suggestion instead of a boundary, convinced luck will cover the gaps. As you'll see, confidence can be the easiest clue to follow. Three masked guys, armed with 3 different guns, stormed a convenience store, terrified employees and customers, and escaped in just 55 seconds. Imagine putting that much planning and teamwork into a real job instead of a crime that could follow you for the rest of your... People came to the restaurant for dinner and ended up facing a robbery instead. Nothing says, "bad night out," quite like a masked man demanding your wallet. They walked in like ordinary customers. But just a few minutes later, everything changed, and the cash drawers became the target. The fake shopping trip quickly turned into a real robbery. Four suspects, one pawn shop, and a cash drawer in the middle of it all. One went in, 3 stood guard, and then the whole crew took off on foot. Quite the team, just working in the wrong industry. A Metro PCS robbery is definitely not the kind of customer service anyone was looking for that day. One minute it's business as usual, the next it's a police investigation. Metro PCS sells phones. It doesn't hand out free money. Yet somehow, some people still think robbing a store is a better option. He allegedly went on a robbery tour, leaving broken property and an injured security guard behind. The suspect thought an elderly man with a cane would be an easy target. Then strangers stepped in before police arrived. That robbery plan fell apart pretty quickly. He brought a knife into the sandwich shop and demanded cash. Definitely not the kind of customer Subway was expecting that morning. They showed up at Domino's near closing time, but apparently the pizza wasn't on the menu. 3 masked suspects allegedly wanted cash instead. and walked away with an undisclosed amount. He was allegedly caught taking drinks first, then decided the cash register needed a visit too. Unfortunately, carrying a weapon doesn't turn a robbery into a legitimate transaction. Three suspects were arrested in connection with a string of gas station robberies across San Jose and Milpitas. They allegedly used weapons and masks, but apparently forgot that a crime spree eventually gets noticed. Two suspects allegedly broke into a Domino's store in Bricktown, apparently forgetting that breaking into a pizza store doesn't mean getting free pizza or stealing for free. She walked into Dillard's, browsed the clothing, wandered around looking for a quiet corner, then slipped several jeans and shirts into her bag. Apparently, shopping without paying was the plan. He walked into a convenience store with a weapon and decided the cash register was his personal ATM. That's one withdrawal that comes with serious consequences. He didn't knock on the door, didn't deliver anything, and definitely didn't pay. Just a thief stopping by the front porch for a quick shopping trip. Two suspects allegedly smashed through the front glass of a taqueria before grabbing cash and taking off. The cook was hiding in the back, while the suspects helped themselves to a very illegal midnight snack. Apparently, buying something wasn't enough. One suspect allegedly came back with his partner and turned a normal visit to the store into an armed robbery. He walked into Dollar General armed and decided the cash register was the best deal in the store. Unfortunately, bad decisions usually come with a much bigger price later. They allegedly hit an electronics store, a wine shop, and a pawn shop. That's quite a shopping list. But somehow, none of the items came with a receipt. One suspect was allegedly taking beer, others blocked the employees, while the rest took the merchandise. Quite a large group. Too bad none of them understood the concept of paying. They allegedly arrived in an old red pickup, tried to take the cash, and had to rely on a distraction when the cashier fought back. Sometimes the robbery doesn't go according to the script. He came into the gas station armed and demanded money. That's one way to make a withdrawal, but definitely not through the ATM. He walked into the store armed, went behind the counter, and grabbed the cash. Apparently, he thought the checkout counter came with a "take what you want" option. They are accused of bypassing the checkout and heading straight for the designer goods. Apparently, Gucci doesn't have a collection called "Grab it and run without paying." Looks like it took 4 people for this late-night shopping trip. 2 grabbed the merchandise, 2 stood watch, and somehow nobody handled the most important part: paying for the cigarettes, lottery tickets, and alcohol. It seems breaking into a house was too much trouble, so he switched to taking a package from outside. Sometimes the easiest target is right there on the front porch. Looks like he skipped the sandwich and went straight for the cash register. If robbing the register was his career choice, then he clearly picked the wrong menu. He handed over 2 necklaces for a closer look, waited for the owner to check them, and then took off. Apparently, the only thing he was serious about inspecting was the nearest exit. Who needs a jewelry store when the supermarket has a display right there? Smash the case, grab the merchandise, and just like that, it's an entirely illegal shopping spree. He walked into the grocery store at 5 a.m., carrying a weapon and demanding money and merchandise. Apparently, even criminals have a shopping list, just no receipt. Forget ordering dinner. These two allegedly came to Alley and Vine for the full package. They smashed the glass and took the register, computers, and safe. Talk about an all-inclusive robbery. He allegedly robbed Little Caesars while carrying a weapon, turning a pizza run into a robbery. Apparently, the only thing he wanted to go was the cash. Broke in after closing hours and helped themselves to the merchandise behind the counter. Clearly, they forgot the golden rule of shopping. You have to pay for it. A pizza place is supposed to serve dinner, not become someone's personal ATM. Apparently, free pizza still wasn't enough. They also wanted to add burglary charges to the menu. Spent the entire night crawling around the restaurant to avoid the alarm system, then used power tools to break into the safe. That's certainly dedication, but when it takes that much effort just to steal, you might be heading in the wrong direction in life. A burglar fell through the ceiling of a restaurant in Ojai on Halloween. Apparently, he wanted to make an entrance, but gravity had a much better plan. Hiding in a fitting room after closing just to steal 4 pairs of sunglasses? That's a lot of patience for a plan worth $1,836, and a whole lot of trouble if caught. One suspect jumped over the counter, while the other allegedly pointed a weapon at employees and a customer. Apparently, they skipped the menu and went straight for the cash. He is accused of walking into a public storage facility, carrying a weapon, demanding money from an employee, and fleeing in an older silver Chevy Blazer. Apparently, even a storage facility couldn't store a decision this bad. Apparently, some shoplifters have taken stretching the wardrobe to a whole new level by modifying underwear to hide stolen clothes. The cat-and-mouse game with store security never seems to end. Forget the shopping bag. She turned her skirt into the checkout-free storage compartment. With his face covered, he brought a weapon into the bank and demanded cash. He didn't come to open an account, but to make a completely illegal withdrawal. They walked into AT&T to look for new phones and seemed to decide that lining up to pay was optional. After taking 3 phones, they ran away. That wasn't an upgrade, it was a criminal charge waiting ahead. He checked the front door first, then allegedly broke through the back door to get inside. A doorbell check turned into a break-in. Definitely not the kind of visit the homeowner was hoping for. First, one suspect was allegedly stealing merchandise. Then another showed up to commit a robbery. Looks like this store had to deal with 2 criminals at the same time. An armed crew, a waiting getaway car, stolen cash, and 2 Cadillacs. They apparently planned the whole operation, but forgot one important detail. The house had cameras everywhere. These kids broke into a high school computer room, only to get spooked by the alarm and run away empty-handed. All that effort for absolutely nothing. Different crimes, same lesson. Shortcuts built on poor judgment rarely stay hidden forever. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. In the end, impatience often becomes the loudest evidence.